Hello, and welcome to Lebolhs Entertainment presents Illusionist in Concert. The cast speaks up close and personal discussion. Coming to our conversation today is none other than the fabulous, incredible, multi-talented, and lovable Mrs. Sherie Yvette Withers Banks, aka Whitney. Hi, Sherie. How are you?
How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to grace your presence and your sweet spirit again, as it's a blessing and an honor to come into this conversation with you. So, you know, the word warrior has, if it had a face, it would be yours. And so we'll get into this conversation a little bit more in the interview. But first, I want to start off by asking you, who is Sherie Yvette?
Who am I? I am a warrior. I feel like I am every woman. And I am an inspirer. That's who Sherie Yvette is.
Love that. Yeah, go ahead.
And I just feel that I'm here to inspire people everywhere to see that you can also be an entertainer and a person. And we have feelings. And, you know, we're just here to just inspire and to entertain you. So that's who I am. I'm an all-around lady.
Indeed. So, where are you from?
From Chicago.
Okay.
I'm from Chicago, South Side.
South Side.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
I have a brother.
Okay.
And I am the oldest. We're 7 years apart. So, of course, it was fun having a younger brother. So, yeah, we had a great time growing up. But, yeah, it's just my brother and I.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What schools did you attend?
Well, I went to Chicago State University and received my bachelor's degree in dietetics. And before that, I went to Olive Harvey and received my AA degree. So I kept it right here in Chicago. And then, you know, I was just so happy to start off my grammar school at St. John de La Salle on the South Side, which is right off 102nd and King Drive. So I kept it all on the South Side and had a great education.
Nice. Love
Yeah.
it. So how did you get into entertainment?
Well, it started off, I'll say, I did a little cheerleading when I was in 8th grade. And then I just saw ads and different things regarding pageants and, let's say, doing different talent shows. So that kind of piqued my interest. So I had some friends of mine kind of show me. They said, well, you know, you can model and you can do different things. So you should really think about doing pageants. So that's how I kind of peaked my way into entertainment, by going into pageants and doing some entertainment there.
Wow.
So that's how I got started.
And so how did that road lead you to the Illusionist in Concert?
Well, it came because, let's say, I went to a modeling school first, because I was sort of a tomboy, if I can use that term, where I was mostly in baseball cap, gym shoes, sweatpants at all times. So I went to my parents and said, you know what, either I'm going to go do a debutante ball, which I had that option, or to a modeling school. So I just kind of put two and two together and said, you know what, I prefer to go to a modeling school. Maybe that'll help me more long term. So I learned how to do etiquette, and within that class, it was the only African-American school on the South Side, Cleo Johnson's. So she taught me how to transform myself from gym shoes and sweatpants to getting extra help. And she said, you're only here for the charm school? I said, yeah, that's it. I'm just trying to get myself together. And so she said, no, you need to go forward with the modeling. You're so beautiful, and I feel you can do it. So she helped me, I'll say, transform me into who I am today, because she transformed me in my spirit. She helped me as far as learning me to love myself, and, you know, just learning that I had more than just putting on a pair of heels, that I could help inspire people by learning how to model. And she really helped me with that. So I will give it to her. She has passed on, but she has instilled in me how to be a model. And then I just enjoyed it after that.
I love that. Especially because then you continue to pay that forward.
Yes, I do.
Right? And
Yeah.
so I shared with you the first time that I actually met you was my first
Which
time.
is so amazing.
Right? Being involved in a pageant here with a local designer. And you were the first one to say, okay, here are your marks. Here's your cue. Stand here, walk like this. Don't do too much of that. And exit.
That is so amazing. I guess I'm just being who I am. And I didn't even know I had inspired you.
Yeah.
So that's why I suggest to anyone in the industry, you don't have to have that air of, like, I don't want to help and I'm the only person here. But I just help because that's what I want to do. Because to be honest with you, when you're in the entertainment industry, you will meet people. And I met people who weren't that kind to me in the industry. So I had to learn, I say, like the harder way. So I said I would never do that to anyone else. So maybe that's why I just naturally just want to help people, even if it's behind stage, because I want them, you know, I don't want that person to feel what I felt. So I felt that's important in the entertainment industry, to help and to be there for people. And I'm glad I was there for you.
Absolutely.
That's what was so amazing when I found out that you were going to be interviewing me today.
Yeah.
It's like full circle.
It is.
Yeah.
I remember one of those, a specific moment where we were preparing for another show, and you pulled out your makeup kit, and it was just so organized. You were just so professional. And since then, I've just taken every piece of that, the tips, the advice, the grace, the elegance, into every part of my work. So that's why it was such an honor to sit with you today.
And so I love that, because that just happened like last weekend at a show. All of my friends, they make comments about me, like, if you need anything, just ask Sherie. She'll probably pull it out of her bag, whether it's a safety pad, a bobby pin, extra makeup, do you need a glove, you know, some tape or anything.
Extra earrings.
So Cleo Johnson, she said that in me, because she taught us to use this in our life, but also in the industry. So I'm always ready. I may have a heavier bag, but somebody's going to need something out of that bag, even if it's myself, but you just want to be ready. And I do that with my life. I just try to be ready. Wow. Like I am with the interview. That's why I'm so happy you're here.
Yay,
and we're doing this together.
Yeah, we stay ready, so we don't have to get ready.
Right.
Yeah.
And growing up on the South Side, it was beautiful. I grew up in London Town, which was right by Gately Stadium, right by Corliss High School, in that area. And yeah, we used to look out the back door, saw them having a football game. We would go down and watch it, and you know, so it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a lot in the area that I feel helped me become who I am. And I do a lot with Cleo Johnson, and I thank her.
Wow. So with that, then, as a former and professional model that has traveled the world globally and worked with some of the most fabulous designers, what advice would you give your other young girls who are interested in this career field?
Stay humble, stay ready, learn the industry, read whatever you can about the industry, understand how to pay it forward, always help the next person, and always try something new. And also, you know, try to always make sure that you find that young lady who might be in the industry as well, and have her look up to you, and, you know, do what you can to help her out, because you just never know. Like I didn't know with you. So you just try and be humble. And we're both going to need tissue, but it's okay. But that's all. You just have to be humble, and you have to keep striving. I might be turning 57 looking good next month, but you just want to always look your best. You want to always keep trying something. Like I set a goal for myself every year. I said, I'm going to do something different next year. I'm going to catapult whatever I'm doing to the next level. That's when people see me doing my tribute to Whitney. It's a whole nother level. The next year maybe more costumes or different looks or an addition on what I'm doing. Same thing with my other career that I'm sure we'll talk about soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to step over. So let's just switch gears here just for a moment to discuss something, especially so that my eyes can dry up, that's very dear and critical to you. as many of your fans at times have seen you perform with a bandage, right?
Yes.
Partially peeking from some of your performance attire. Can you share with your viewers what's going on with your health and how can they possibly help?
Well, my health at this point, I'm a 25-year lupus survivor. I was diagnosed February 9th, 1998. Yes, I know the exact date. I was at a local hospital, and in 98, when I was first diagnosed, I went into the hospital with acute renal failure, which set off the alarms of what's wrong. She was totally healthy, and we don't really know what's happening. So after biopsy and chemotherapy, dialysis, pheresis, all that was done in one day just to get my body stable. I had an excellent doctor who already had an idea that I might have had lupus, but she didn't converse that with me at the beginning until a couple of days later. So because she worked quickly and she helped me have all of those different chemos and everything to keep me stable, that's how they diagnosed me with lupus. And I was on dialysis briefly, and they had a catheter put in. They also had a fistula, which you may see people with. Sometimes it's in their arm, where they can also do dialysis for you. I was on dialysis for a month, and by the grace of God, my kidneys opened back up. So it was more of a drug-induced flare, because I had an antibiotic that I took for an infection I had prior to that, which caused the flare to happen. So in other words, if you follow me, everybody follow me.
Okay.
I had an infection a couple days. By that Monday, I was sick. But from the medication, it caused my lupus to flare up, which I never knew I had. So by the grace of God, luckily that happened, so that kind of saved my life. So that's how they found out I had lupus. So some lupus patients are allergic to a drug called sulfur.
Okay.
So that's why I can't have any medications, antibiotics with sulfur, because that will cause a flare. And the flare is when your lupus is active. Wow. So during that time, again, that doctor, she just knew what to do. My kidney just happened to open back up. So within that year, they took my fistula out. My catheter was gone because they felt that I was doing okay. So I had 7 years of no more dialysis, but I kept having lupus flares. So with those flares over time, that's what caused my kidneys to slowly die down, where I needed a transplant.
Wow. Can you tell us more about what the flares are like?
Sure. A flare is when lupus first, it's an autoimmune disorder that attacks itself. So if something is going on, it can attack your lungs, your heart, your kidneys. So for me, I have systemic lupus, which for me affects my kidneys. So every time that it's active, it kind of scars my kidneys. So think of to really get you to understand, think of a chalkboard. When you think of a chalkboard and somebody goes down that nobody, right, you see that face you have? So when you hear that screeching, so it's like every time you flare, it's scratching my kidneys. So the 3 times I had my major flares where I could not walk, I could not move, I had to go to physical therapy for 8 months to re-walk. My muscles were tight, and my body had just broken all the way down. So when that happened, that's when they told me I would need a kidney transplant. So that's when, again, by the grace of God, my brother, he decided to test, and he was a perfect match, which was 18 years ago. So believe it or not, I have not had a lupus flare since right before I had my transplant. So I have not had any flares. I've been in remission. It's just the kidney part of it is what's the most active. But my lupus has been in remission. And my doctors are very happy about that, because when I have a flare, that's when I have to have chemotherapy. That's the only medication that will stabilize me. And it's very, very difficult on the body. So even though I go through my kidney issues, I'm just blessed I don't have the lupus part of it to really kind of bring me down. So I try to stay stress-free. You know, I try to stay happy. It's not always like that, you know, but that's what helps a person not flare.
So you mentioned the sulfur earlier as a trigger.
Yes.
What are some other things that will trigger
Well, I know each person's different, but
Okay.
for me, I know sulfur would trigger right away a lupus flare
Okay.
for me. So whenever I'm having medications, or let's say if you're having a tooth pulled, they put you on antibiotics, the first thing out of my mouth is, I'm allergic to sulfur. And just to make sure that the doctors or providers are looking at those notes. So I'm being a patient advocate for myself, which I also want to encourage people to do no matter what you have. You have to be a patient advocate. So for others, it could be stress. So you can't be stressed, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, because it can change your numbers where you can flare. So I try to, I might have had certain friends at one time in my life, and it's just the way life goes. There's just certain things that you want to make sure keeps you stress-free, and you have a peace of mind. So lately, you may hear people talk about mental illness. I have a counselor. She is my best friend. So it doesn't mean something's wrong with you. You just need to keep all parts of your body in line, from your head down to what you look physically. So you always need, I'm telling you, my counselor, she came to my birthday party. She's in my life because she wants to make sure that I'm okay when it comes to the mental status of dealing with your personal life, dealing with challenges, because it can weigh on you. I have my moments. I cry. I, get off of dialysis, and I think about things. I don't want to be here right now. It's just, I wish my life was different, but I'm going to accept it as it is. So, I'm just trying to, inspire people and really make sure they understand what you go through.
Wow. Well, you're doing it, inspiring people while you're going through. And so we appreciate you for that. I also appreciate you naming the support that you're getting, right? That support system that you're building around yourself, the support that you're getting from the medical field. A lot of, especially Black women, have different experiences when it comes to the medical field. So I'm really glad that your journey has been one of support and helping you get to where you need to be.
Right. I feel it's important. You have to have a team. I'll say you need your gynecologist for women. They need your primary care doctor. And then when you have lupus or chronic kidney disease, you need your rheumatologist for your lupus. You need your nephrologist for your kidney. So imagine all these people I've named. So where am I at mostly every week on a Tuesday or Thursday? In somebody's doctor's office, or I'm doing a test, or I have to make sure everything is on point. Then they worry about me, making sure I'm okay. When you're a person who takes care of yourself, and when something is not right on a test, they may worry like something's wrong. So you have to make sure you're honest with your providers. That's important. If there's certain medications, because I'm taking more than 20 medications a day. And, you have to make sure that everything is on point with that as well. And you have to make sure that you stay in touch with your providers if something is different. And it's important for me to make sure I'm okay if I'm trying to do tributes to the one and only Whitney.
Yeah.
So, people see that part of me, but they'll never know this other side, which keeps me going. And when you really look at what I do, as far as Whitney, when you think about her life, we are similar in a lot of ways. I'm not saying I'm her and she's not me, but if you think about it, she was a model first. That's what I do. She enjoyed everything she did. And after I actually watched the movie that just came out, I learned more about her. I learned how she picked her music. And that's how I learned the music. Of course, I loved Whitney, but I had to go deeper into it. So I've always just printed out the lyrics just so I can make sure I'm understanding exactly what it is I'd say, tributing to. And that's how she picked her music. And I learned that. And I didn't know that part of it, that she would pick her music depending on what the lyrics said. And she kind of saw where her life was. So most of her music, I can get into it because is sort of what I'm going through, like didn't know my own strength. I think I almost cry every time I do that song. And that's what I opened up most of my shows with. I love the Lord. You know, I make sure that's in my sets the majority of the time. I want to dance with somebody. I love to dance, right? I love to go to plays. I love to go to the movies. You know, I like sports. And believe it or not, I want to backtrack a little bit so you can see where I am.
Okay.
Okay. So, believe it or not, I took piano lessons. So I take the piano.
Okay.
My father can attest to that, as the piano sits there at the house. I also was in the band in high school. I went to a local school. I played the clarinet for 4 years. And how I did that and was on the track team, I don't know how I did all of that. So now I see where I am today. How am I juggling everything? Because I guess I learned how to be great in school. I had track practice. I had band practice. And still on different levels of other, you know, organizations. And I knew how to kind of juggle everything. And I think that just helped me do what I'm doing today. And I want to give a very good thank you to Dan DeVerney, a photographer who helped me in the modeling industry, and Marcus Jeter, a makeup artist. They are the two people who had me at a photo shoot. I was looking through the lens during the time Whitney was out doing I'm Your Baby Tonight in the 90s. They kept saying I look like her, and I said, no way. She is too beautiful. And it's like, really? We really need to look at yourself. And they were the first two people who kept telling me how much I looked like her. And then I had friends around me telling me the same thing. And things just kind of kept going from there. And then all that turns around to I'm still doing what I'm doing today. I'm still challenging myself with my health challenges that I still can't believe I had dialysis. What's today? Saturday?
Today is Saturday.
Yesterday. You know, I kind of keep up with everything. But I think if you think positive about, even if you have challenges, it'll help you heal better. Because if you think negatively, I think you can kind of feel that. You don't feel as strong. You feel very tired. And I really think that that sparks hormones or your body to do something different on the inside. So you do have to have those moments to cry. You do have to have those moments to just say, you know what, I'm going to beat this. I got up today. And I know that somebody's not doing as well as I am. Because I tell you, when you sit at dialysis, we're like a big happy family. We see each other, somebody is missing, you're like, well, what happened? Or so-and-so is in the hospital, or how are you feeling today? You know, it's important that people know that we need that strength. We need that joy from people that are around you. And these health challenges, you know, that it makes you really appreciate life. You know, and I appreciate my family, my husband, my friends. I have a slew of friends who always worry about me. You know, if they don't hear from me, they know something's going on. You know, and I have a couple of childhood friends that I can count on one hand, that we've been friends for a long time. And they always encourage me to tell my story, because my goal, especially from today, there's going to be a link that people can look at my story from the National Kidney Registry. Look it up, see what you can learn more about me and my struggles. A picture of my brother and I, with his handsome self. And then there's also a phone number that'll get you directly to the coordinator of the living donor line, where you can call. You can say, you know what, I saw Sherie Yvette Withers-Banks on today, and I want to try to start the screening process. Now, the screening process is just when you can call her, you can give the nurse your number and your name, and she'll probably either send you a link or she'll just give you a questionnaire. And they want to do like a simple, you know, question about your medical and just other information for you. And then she'll go from there. Because usually when you try to just test, you don't have to be the same blood type. There's certain areas that they can look at where if you're not a direct match, there are other ways that you can still try to test for me or put you in a pool of people where if we all test with each other, they call it sharing, then somebody might, you know, be able to match me. And dialysis, think of it as a short-term, I say a short-term fix. So it's the machine is giving us life. So with this giving us life, every day my life goes down. So that's why I'm begging and I'm asking for a living donor. They say 7-year wait for Illinois on the kidney transplant. Yes, I only got 2 years in, okay? And then I've also been blessed to also be put on the list because I'm pushing. So I was accepted at the University of Wisconsin. So I'm on their list 2 years in, thank goodness. So usually the waiting time is shorter. I don't want to wait. I'm being selfish. I want my I've had 18 years with my brother, blessed with my transplant, and they do suggest that a living donor is more helpful because your life is longer. And you go directly from one person to another, and it just lasts a much longer time. So I'm asking for anybody to just try, finish the whole process and see. You might be my match. I'm hoping that anybody listening, you may, you know how you say you pay it forward? You may know someone. I want to be the face of Gift of Hope. I want to be the face of lupus. I'm going to speak in existence. I know you are going to know someone or someone's going to hear this today. I want a billboard in every main area with my face there so I can inspire to say she is representing lupus. Lupus Awareness Month is in May, so I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to challenge the audience. Let's see if we can make it happen. By May, my face will be Gift of Hope and Lupus Awareness. And we're going to make sure by that time, either I will have my kidney transplant or we're going to inspire people to test and help, you know, because that's the goal. We want to get people to help. I want to continue to entertain. I want to be hired for that event. So when I get up there, my dancers will get up there, we're going to give you Whitney on stage so you feel like you're still in her spirit and you'll feel me bringing it to you. And as we entertain you, we'll cry together, we'll laugh together through her music. And then once I tell my story at the end, they'll say, she did what up there? She just had dialysis yesterday? Or she just left this morning at 5 a.m. from dialysis. She went home to take a nap. And then she came back later to perform. So that's why I want to use what I do to just help inspire. And after my 6 to 8 weeks after my transplant, then I just keep it going. That's all. So.
Wow. So I don't want our viewers to miss that. You just gave us some nice marching orders for how we can support on this journey or how we can help get you to that billboard, how we can help get you in May. So are there some specific ways that we can help you achieve those goals?
They can chat with us. There will be a phone number either through my link, which is the National Kidney Registry. There's Lebolhs Entertainment, who I am a part of. There's a phone number to get in touch with him directly, Mr. Tim Bohar, which is my best friend for 30 plus years, the CEO. Like I said, the nurse line if you want to try to start the screening process. But our goal is get in touch with Lebolhs Entertainment. You can contact them and say, you know what, I want to do that photo shoot so we can get this billboard going. I know a contact person of Gift of Hope. We're going to give them that idea of, you know what, let's see if we can do a billboard or see if she can represent Gift of Hope. Same thing with lupus organizations, like I'm part of Living Life with Lupus Support Group, which is my heart. They have been behind me since 1998. So there may be a billboard, you know, just something for us to help encourage so we can continue to let people know about who I am, how I can encourage and to keep entertaining.
So I'm curious, you've mentioned the tensions that you hold as you bring joy into the room. I'm curious, are there any other performers that you add into your set? So you do Whitney. Yes. I'm curious, you've given us a little background about how you came to do Whitney. And it seems like that's been your primary person. Are there others that
Well,
also?
believe it or not, there was a young man. He has an organization called Taste for the Homeless, the Earharts. I call them Mr. and Mrs. Earhart. And they did a wonderful tribute to The Wiz. So he saw me doing Diana Ross in another event, and I guess I did well. And he said, "You're the only person I know who can pull this off," because we did we did everything, and it was amazing. So that worked very well. And then I guess someone saw that, and I ended up doing it at the Daily Center, where they did a tribute to The Wiz. So we did a reenactment. So that went well. So I said, okay, I think I'm liking this. And then from there, of course, I got some bookings for Diana Ross. So yeah, that's on the side.
Okay.
Whitney is my forefront, but I can do a little Diana. So, and if you think about it, those women are very strong. Same kind of little body type, very elegant, very regal. So I guess you can kind of fall into it. So that's the other person that I might,
Nice.
do a little something.
Love it. So we're doing up close and personal. So I
Yes.
got to
Okay.
dig just a
Okay.
little bit closer while we still have time. What do you do for fun? So how do you what is that self-care, keeping the stress down? What does that look like for you, Sherie?
Well, of course, trying to get to the spa. Nails and feet, kind of little facials, a little massage, of course. I love to, believe it or not, love to watch entertainment. So I could watch a play. I love plays. I love live entertainment. Movies, I'm a movie head. I just like movies. My husband and I, we can turn on a movie in a heartbeat, kick back if I'm awake long enough to watch it. But I love movies. I like being with my friends. They'll say in 2 seconds, let's go eat. I may look like I need to gain a little weight, but everybody always want to take me out to eat, and I'm ready because I eat. So I like to go out to eat and explore different restaurants or different places because I like to, find different places to go to. And then I just like to have fun. When my nieces and nephews, I have 8 nieces and nephews, they live in Peoria. But when I go, we'll go to go-kart riding. I just like doing fun stuff because remember, you got to think back. I was in gym shoes, sweatpants, and titties, so I play baseball, so I like to do fun things like that too. So I just do everything.
Nice. Do you have any pets?
No, I used to. I've always had a dog.
Okay.
So I've had dogs twice, but they both passed on. They both lasted, they were 14 years old. So I always talk about I do want to get another dog. But my life is just kind of everywhere right now. So maybe when I'm a little bit more stable, maybe after I get my transplant, which I throw on out there, right? And just make sure I'm doing good. Then I'm thinking about getting another pet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you play any instruments?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Just I'll leave the piano where it's at and the clarinet. So not anymore. I used to. I'm sure my parents well, of course, if she did enjoy it at that time when I did it, because I did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because I did the clarinet for 4 years when I was in high school. Yeah.
So what keeps you smiling and what inspires you?
I think seeing other people enjoy what I do, especially when it comes to Whitney. If I see them smiling, if I see them singing along, if I see them clapping, or after I'm finished performing, they say, oh, can I give you a hug? Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're just like her. And that's what I want to do. I want them to feel like that they are experiencing Whitney at that time, but still getting a little bit of Sherie, And then when I can tell my story and I've inspired them to either do better for themselves or to make sure that, they're being an advocate for themselves, and that helps me smile. Just to know other people are happy.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so it takes a lot of strength.
Yeah.
So who do you draw your strength from?
I say my family.
Okay.
My family's always being positive and telling me to make sure I'm doing well. Want to make sure that I'm always pushing for the best. And that I'm surrounded by great friends who always have my back. I guess I don't realize I inspire them until we talk and they're like, you know what? You're really doing it. And I'm so happy, that they look at me, that way.
Wow. Wow. That's just so cool. That's really, really cool. And so as we come to a close, and Sherie, it's just been a dream to sit here and have this conversation with you. What can we expect from Sherie Yvette in 2024?
Of course, more Whitney, billboards,
Okay.
continuing to inspire. I want my career, because, actually, when I'm thinking about it, after I received my degree in dietetics, I've been a nutritionist. The people don't know that part of me. Mm-hmm. I've been a nutritionist at a local medical center for 32 years. So I've been the nutritionist there. So I inspire people that way as well, by teaching them how to eat healthy, and I kind of give my little background, and they're very amazed on what I'm going through. So they listen to me there. But I want to inspire people as far as when I do Whitney on a whole nother level. I want them to really see me, you know, say that is Whitney right there. But that's also Sherie. You know, she's inspiring us because she's able to deal with her challenges, plus able to give us Whitney and to do her entertainment. So I just want everything next level.
Okay. Yeah. So if you could give us your final words, is there anything that you would say to those who are watching?
Just to stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Stay positive. If you have health challenges, just take them head on. Be a patient advocate for yourself. Always think positive. If you're an entertainer, always do 200%. Always make sure that you help your fellow entertainer or be there for that person as well. And then just make sure that you're staying positive. Yeah, you got to stay positive.
Well, Sherie, we want to thank you so much. We're wishing you all the best and praying for a positive outcome in your search for a live donor. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity, and we pray for those who are watching. Begin flooding your social media and platforms and contacts by joining forces to help in some way to get tested in your quest of finding a match. Yes. Thank you so much, Sherie, for bringing joy and keeping the joy alive in yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.